Hello, my name is Bob Hodge. I'm president of Advanced Spindle Technology, and we're doing a video here in our Winston-Salem, North Carolina headquarters. And I wanted to share with you a little bit today about the importance of cleanliness in the repair process, especially when spindles are going back together, and why that's such a big deal. Why we have invested in Class ISO 7 clean rooms with Class 9 flow benches to have the spindles be assembled in. So what I've got here is a slide that really gives you the relative sizes of different levels of contamination. And what you can see here is the human hair is, and this is in terms of inches, human hair is about 3/1000ths of an inch in diameter. A dust particle is 1/1000th of an inch. A fingerprint, in other words, if you use an alcohol wipe on your smartphone and you put your fingerprint on it, it's going to measure about 1/2 thousandth. Industrial smoke from like coal is 2.5 10/thousandths of an inch. Tobacco smoke is 1/10,000th of an inch, which by the way is one of the reasons it's so bad for you. And what you see here is the oil film thickness in a bearing is 15 millionths of an inch thick. Now that is a bearing that is either grease or air oil lubricated. It really doesn't make any difference because the oil is essentially the same. And that is the film thickness that separates the ball from the raceways. And that's what really makes bearings work. This is a results of a test that was done years and years ago on a spindle. And it was actually done to look at the difference in a couple of bearing greases, high-speed bearing greases. Since the base oil is the same between the two greases, the two essentially lay on top of each other, which is what's expected. But the reason I keep this and use it is it's actually also a measurement of the film thickness between the ball and the raceway of a bearing that's running at speed within the normal operating temperature. The temperature in the contact ellipse of a typical spindle bearing is somewhere between 130 and 170 degrees Fahrenheit. Even though the spindle, we may measure on the outside of the spindle 80, 90 degrees, the temperature in the contact zone inside the bearing is quite a bit more than that. And as you can see here, the typical contact film thickness is 20 to 40 microinches, 20 to 40 millionths of an inch thick, 1/2 micron to a full micron thick. And if you look at this, this is the same chart that we saw before here on the right with contamination, but what you see here is micro-denting, where you have hard contaminants that got into the load zone with that bearing under load that penetrated the oil film and actually caused a dent in the race. And once those dents start, once the raceway is dented, that is the initiation point of failure. That bearing will not last very long after that. So with that, this is the reason that we have invested in a Class ISO 7 clean room at our facilities, both of our facilities, with Class ISO 9 flow benches, because cleanliness is extremely important in reassembling your spindle, keeping contamination out of the bearings. It's difficult enough to keep contamination out of the spindle and the spindle bearings once it's in the machine running. It's much worse if you have built-in contamination from your spindle repair. So again, that's the reason we pay so much attention to it, and it's extremely important to us. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your attention and your interest, letting us share this with you. If you'd like for us to evaluate your spindle for a repair, we invite you to contact us through our website or contact me directly. Thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.